So this is kind of going to be a special, like, semi-short podcast.
Sweet.
Because this week is the Game Awards, and so we're going to be talking about the Game Awards a little bit, getting our predictions, trying to feel out who we think is going to win or what we're going to see, and all that stuff. Of course, I'm your host Brian. Along with me, as always, the Mad Mech Monster Mind himself, Joel. Hello, Joel.
What's up, everyone? Before we get into it, I just want to say, big, I guess, part of our upbringing, we enjoyed Power Rangers, right? We didn't address it last time, but just the passing of Jason David Frank was pretty big, right. I think, on a lot of us. So, RIP to that guy.
Jason David Frank.
We all have our struggles, but may the power protect him, right? Seek help if you need it. That's all I gotta say. But RIP to the original bad boy that we'd love to see back in the day.
Man, I have to say that was really surreal. That was like one of the last things I expected to see. Was it just like 2 weeks ago?
Sorry. Yeah.
It's rough. It was kind of where I had a thought. It's like, man, we're getting to the age where people that we grew up seeing or like appreciating their work or like are starting to like pass on.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking bummer. And in this case, very too early. Like you said, the time isn't kind to everybody, unfortunately.
He was young.
Yeah.
Really young still.
But yeah. Rip the green, white, red twice, and Black Ranger.
Beyond, for
and
sure.
Beyond. But yeah. Other than that, we got a little bit of newsy stuff. But before we get into that, I just like to remind everybody out there, if you're watching live with us right now on twitch.tv/UnitedWeNerd, thank you very much. You could always have fun in the chat, ask us questions that we would love to answer during the podcast, or make sure that you can correct us as well if we fuck up, because we probably will.
Oh yeah.
And of course, if you're listening or watching this post this live recording on podcast services or on YouTube, leave a comment. Ask us some questions there. What do you think about the content so far? What do you think is going to happen at the Game Awards? Of course, if you're listening to this in VOD, it'll be happening tonight as this releases on Thursday morning. Which means if you're listening to this right as this comes out, you still have a chance to come hang out with us live tonight or on Thursday night for the Game Awards live reaction stream that we were doing here on Twitch.
Yeah.
Of course, if you can't come hang out with us live, it'll always be posted on YouTube post reaction. But with that out of the way, Joel, it's been a while since we had a regular podcast. So how's your life been? Like, what have you been up to?
It's been good. Real life wise, I'll get into digital shit. It was my friend Jen's birthday. They requested that we go do some whale watching with them. So we actually went near Monterey, this place called Moss Landing.
And
we went on a boat and we saw some whales. And apparently it's really rare during December, but we saw some whales breaching because Monterey, of course, is a hub for all sorts of water life, right? So I can't find the word right now. But we saw a bunch of sea lions, tons of birds. It was really cool. We didn't get too close, but it was still interesting. And seeing like there were sea lions and whales working together to get like we assume is a giant like horde of anchovies. Like they were working together in this.
Oh wow, there's tag team in
symbiosis. Yeah, it was dope. So yeah, thanks, Jen. Happy birthday.
That's really cool. Like you definitely lucked out because even like during season, it's sometimes almost impossible to find whales.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Definitely. And awesome. I was in Hawaii when I was younger and we would see them too, but we were doing other things, I don't know, like snorkeling or scuba diving or whatever, but it's like, oh shit, we're actually going just to see the whales. So that was good for me too. And it was wet. I brought my raid jacket with me. The hood kept falling off, but I was pretty happy. And yeah, I got my raid jacket from doing Vow of the Disciple. Ooh, it has my gamer tag on it.
Finally.
Rip it off right here. No technical difficulties. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's probably backwards, but Acoustic Avenger right there.
Hey.
Yeah, so finally came in, and it's good quality too. And it's one of those jackets that it can wrap itself in like a bag and you just carry it. So that's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that was
like
finally got it.
It just has like a pouch inside of it that you can just fold up.
Yeah. So
jackets have reached that technology.
One of my homies, J Mike, has the same one as me. My PvP friend who's carried me a lot this season. And then our buddy Ben, of course, has been on the podcast a few times. He has the Deepstone Crypt jacket. It's like a full-on like.
I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's like a coat, man. And I was like, damn, I didn't get it, but yay, raid stuff. Yeah, Destiny. Yeah. Oh, my wife and I saw Glass Onion. Really good. If you saw Knives Out, highly recommend watching the follow-up. Glass Onion, of course. Killer cast, killer writing, killer direction. So good. So
cool.
Other than that, I've just been waiting on more, I don't know, Mass Effect news, I guess. Dragon Age dropped a trailer. Yeah. I still need to watch. A bunch of trailers came out, which we probably will dissect a little too. Yeah, just waiting for new stuff. I mean, for me, I'm way behind. I started Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Really love it. I'm really engaged. So went with the narrative where like you make choices, which I thought was really interesting. I mean, all about that in like Mass Effect, but just funny. Like Origins was like you go do something and the choice is already made. It's a really interesting direction. And from what I heard from you guys when you played it when it came out in 2019, like it was pretty grindy. And I'm level 30 right now, and I don't have that problem. But also, I play like one of the grindiest games ever. Maybe that's why I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'll do 5 quests. I level up. I don't give a fuck.
So if you're already at level 30 and you don't feel grindy, you probably will be okay. Because at least when I played Odyssey, level 25 was around the time I felt kind of grinded out. So maybe it's just like you said, you play Destiny way more than I do, so you're used to the grind. Maybe they altered it somehow, but that's cool.
Yeah.
So would you say that because I don't know if you mentioned this, but you're playing this on your new Series X.
Oh no, that's right. I forgot. So y'all, I finally did it. Took the plunge. Our buddy Josh, who was also on the podcast, he was in the D&D episode. He's like, "Hey, I have a Series X. You want to buy it?" I was like, "Fuck it, let's go." So I bought a Series X, took the plunge, and damn, that quality is amazing. Just on graphics alone, you know, I'm usually I don't care about that kind of shit. I'm like, I want gameplay, but holy shit, it's beautiful. Assassin's Creed, Sea of Thieves, Destiny, fucking beautiful. And it's funny. It's like, what, you don't need your Series X anymore, Josh? He's like, nah, I got my PS5. So it's like, all right, I have a Series X. I'm happy with it. You know, my sister-in-law's boyfriend, he's like worried that I was switching to PS5 and never coming back. I told him I got a Series X on the weekend. He's like, "Oh yeah, it probably helps me now when those are readily available." And so he was laughing about it. But
I mean, it's not untrue.
Yeah. So Series X, you know, I'm an Xbox boy now, I guess. I mean, I eventually will get the PS5 for 2 games. Yeah. I don't fucking regret when it comes. It'll be for 2 fucking games. But it'll be fucking fun.
I mean, fuck, I bought a PS4 because of Spider-Man, so I don't blame you.
That's one of the reasons why I'm gonna get it. It's literally for one of the best games I ever played. It's Spider-Man, and of course Miles Morales. You know, yeah, and yeah. As far as that, I think other gaming news. Oh, I for this year, Destiny at least. Those know I've been playing more PvP. I finally hit Unbroken. I need to hit Legend 3 times.
Oh.
And they're about to retire the seal this season.
So you got the last chance.
Yeah, so if you hit Legend twice, you can get it one more time. I believe this season. I didn't want to wait till this season. I didn't want to be like everyone else. And I could be wrong. They might have changed it already. But thank you. Shout out to my buddy J Mike, Matt, of course, Ben, Joby, you know, my other friend Kyle, helping me PvP grind. God damn, PvP is like any game. It's I used to hate PvP, honestly. Overwatch kind of made it fun for a bit. and then other games that play it's a whole nother monster, you know. But
Like,
shout out to them.
as long
That
as you
hard.
can make like PvP interesting and fun, it makes it easy. I know Destiny had a bad track record at first.
Kind of still to some people.
Yeah. But they're getting there. So why are they retiring the seal?
They're coming up with a whole new level of climbing. They're doing the Overwatch thing where you have ranks and you're gonna try to hit. You can hit the highest rank or lowest, and more skill-based matchmaking for comp. So basically, you'll be
Oh.
playing people as opposed to someone who's unbroken. Let me tell you, I was broken for sure though. Excuse me. It's I complain about this on TikTok too. Some matches are literally your enemy's looking at the wall to literally this guy's teabagging you 3 seconds into the match because he headshot you and you're fucking dead. You know, like it's the variability is ridiculous. And you know, actual fair matches weren't very accessible, I think. And when they were there, they were
That's
good.
true.
Not gonna lie. But it's just crazy. Like here, me and my buddies were like, oh, okay, you know, I'm getting like 10 kills with my grenade launcher, which is definitely not meta. I'm telling you that right now. And another match, yeah, like I said, this guy is like, I know, around the corner, you know, blasting my head off 5 rounds in a row, and you know, doing dance moves on all of us. It's crazy.
Okay, well that's cool. I wasn't expecting them to try to do skill-based matchmaking, but hey, that's great. Especially like
I'm trying to implement it more and more, but
I mean, as much as the discourse is going on right now, especially since the new Modern Warfare came out, like I kind of have a hard time sympathizing with people that are against skill-based matchmaking just because at the end of the day, with or without skill-based matchmaking, you'll end up running into like the same issue. Except with skill-based matchmaking, at least you have a chance.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to win every match, but at least I would rather be able to play against somebody that's closer to my level than to be stomped out by somebody who has like 300 ranks above me. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they're out there. I mean, no disrespect, but maybe we talked about it before. You're right, though. It's like, why am I being matched with this kid who literally picked it up today, and also the god tier streamer who's using the most off meta stuff to destroy me for amusement? Like, it's crazy,
yeah, it's crazy.
What else? It was something else to say. Oh, of course. Just a reminder, if you missed it, we did our first live stream with United We Nerd of Gundam Evolution. That game is hella fun. I mean, I don't play Overwatch anymore. I mean, I might for Ramatra, but that filled my niche for like mindless shooting with the team, and it, of course, has the Gundam aesthetic, Gundam skin. You know, it's you can customize it too. Like if you had your own gunplay, you wanted to do etchings. I don't know. I think it's fucking best thing this month now.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that gameplay will be going on YouTube in the next few days. So check out that.
Hell yeah.
Just some Gundam boys having some good old Gundam fun.
And I don't know. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I'm always forgetting something. I think that's it. There's other stuff we're probably going to talk about, but as far as me, I think that's it. What about you, Brian? What's new in the world of Brian?
Oh, Joel, let me tell you, November has been a treasure trove of games. I think we talked about this before, where within the span of 2 weeks, we've had Sonic Frontiers, God of War Ragnarok, and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet come out.
That's a lot for you right there.
It's been a few years since I've had a season like this where I just get swamped with games. I'm trying my best not to have any of them drop off. However, this past weekend I did finish Sonic Frontiers, and I have a little bit to talk about that game. Boy, is this the most fun I've had with a modern Sonic game in a while. Now, yes, I wouldn't say the game is rough. Like, I know, like, a lot of people have been talking about, like, oh, like, there's like rails that pop in and stuff like that, where it's like, yeah, that's one thing. But I would say overall the game feels really good to play. It's a lot of fun. Just to have your whole open world experience, and you're leveling up Sonic, and it's actually really weird to have a Sonic game that's kind of a lightweight character action game where Sonic has combos and special moves that you unlock through upgrading his kit. And then of course he has his strength and defense stats, and you can increase his speed and his ring capacity and just run around the open world finding secrets and fighting bosses and creatures. And then what I thought was really cool, they have what they're called like the cyberspace levels, where they're basically mini traditional like Sonic levels, like A to B Sonic levels. What's really neat, which after halfway through my playthrough I started realizing, is that so within, I guess, light spoilers for anyone that cares about Sonic Frontiers, hasn't finished yet, but they're cyberspace levels because that's what they are. Like, you're going into cyberspace and like running through a traditional Sonic course. And what they did was to kind of tie it in. They say like when you're in cyberspace, to perceive it for Sonic to perceive it with his mind, they just kind of took like information from his brain and his mind and just kind of projected it into a world that he can understand. And so things are kind of displaced, but every level is not a one for one, but is a form of recreation from old Sonic game levels.
Pretty cool.
So at like one point I was like, oh shit, this is Metal Harbor from fucking Sonic Adventure 2. Or it's like, nice. Oh shit, this is a level from Sonic Unleashed and shit like that. And like I start like remembering, because I played a lot of fucking Sonic Adventure 2. So when I started like seeing like pathway patterns of like, what the fuck? This is Green Forest. What the shit? That was really cool. Like, I feel like, because they did push this game back a little bit, I'm wondering if this was gonna be like an anniversary game, because that felt like, they didn't just like pick like a handful of games. They picked a lot of different games to kind of recreate in the cyberspace world. So it was kind of cool. Like every other Sonic game, the soundtrack slaps really hard, almost too hard for its own good. I'm sure people have probably seen TikToks about, the music for Sonic Frontiers, but like if like Crush 40 was like the early 2000s of like Sonic music, now we're getting into the early 2010s of Sonic music. So you're getting that like that pop punk, like heavy, like grunge, like metal music.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's like, all right, here we go. I haven't heard a song in the game I don't like. And then it leads well with the boss battles, because how the game flows is that there's four islands, right? Mm-hmm. And on each island you're supposed to save one of the Sonic friends. And then so you have like the whole thing is kind of like a rinse and repeat, but it's a very nice flow of, okay, you do the cyberspace missions to get keys, and with those keys you go unlock this contraption that gives you a Chaos Emerald, and you're supposed to collect the Chaos Emeralds in order to open this door that leads you to the boss fight. And then from there, the boss fight has like the last emerald, and you grab that so you can become supersonic, and then you fight. And then it kind of just rinse and repeats on different islands, so it's different terrains and different kind of character interactions. But it, like, saying that, it seems like it could be very repetitive, but it actually feels really good. Like, just the flow of doing these little missions in the open world and kind of doing the character interaction quests and stuff like that, like, feels fun, like, surprisingly so. um I am intrigued to see where, like, Sega and the Sonic team go in the future. I'm kind of hoping that they expand on this and this isn't just like a one time deal, because I feel like this overall has been a very positive for Sonic and like Sega, because I haven't really heard anybody like super shit on this game, which is rare for Sonic. um so yeah, if people are in were wondering if they should go play Sonic Frontiers, I say go try it. I found out that there is a true ending if you play on hard, which I didn't do, so I'm thinking of actually doing that on stream. So
hell yeah, hard mode, engage.
Look out in the future for that. Besides that, I've also, been playing God of War Ragnarok, which has still been very fun. I'm taking my time with this game just because since I just recently played the 2018 God of War, I kind of sped through that just so I can see the story, and I didn't really do any of the extra side stuff. So this time I'm trying to make sure I kind of take my time and actually kind of explore more in Ragnarok. But Joel, I know you played this way before I did, or the new God of War way before I did. Boy, does this... I said before that Ragnarok is kind of like more of the same but better. That opinion still stands, but I think I'm starting to get up into a point of the game where you really feel like the actors for this game like feel it. Like they are all in their like mojo, like kicking in. Like they're all like down 110% in this game, and it's so fun to watch. I can't say there's not a really character that I've met so far that I hate. The interactions between Kratos and Atreus are fucking fantastic, especially since now Atreus is a little bit older. A little bit time has passed, but then compared to 2018, where it was the story of kind of Kratos kind of trying to break that shell of like what he was in his past, and he's still kind of stuck in his ways a little bit. This one, Ragnarok, really does show, like, I'm gonna try to saying this without any spoiler. I don't think I'm saying anything spoilery, but you get a good sense of the continuing process of that journey of Kratos trying to be better, and then of course you get the benefit of Atreus being older, so now there's a whole new set of things that have to be processed because of time passing, and leading up to Ragnarok is a big deal.
Yep.
But yeah, if you like, do you still have a PS4?
Oh yeah, man.
Okay,
I was thinking about getting God of War 5 for the PS4. I was thinking about it, but I might just I mean, I held off on God of War 4 for fucking years, so I feel like I could do it.
So what I've heard is that the game actually runs pretty good on PS4. I think the only thing I've really heard is that depending on which PS4 you have, it will turn into a jet engine. But as far as gameplay is concerned, it it supposedly runs pretty fine, which is great.
Man,
but I don't blame you, because playing on a PS5, like, with your new Series X experience, it just makes gives that little extra, that little pish. But yeah,
really quick, I'm gonna throw it back. Before I forget, and then I'll cycle back to God of War. Do you think they're gonna come out with DLC for Sonic Frontiers? I know it's a hard pivot, but
so funny enough, thank you for reminding me, Joel. This past week,
Kratos.
This past week, actually, Sega made a post that is giving a timeline of post-game content for next year, which is great, because this is something they haven't like really done, like really at all, especially for a Sonic game. So like, we're getting a little bit of content at the beginning of the year, and then in the middle of the year, and then near the end of the year, they actually said that we're getting more story, and then more playable characters, which is sweet, because I feel like a game with Frontiers, I feel like there's more you can expand on, because it seems like, especially recently with their announcement that they're looking for somebody to be kind of like the archivist and like the lore master for Sonic. It seems like with Frontiers, they're really starting to try to, canonize everything and kind of get everything in an order. Especially because it's weird, because technically Sonic Frontiers canonizes the IDW comics, because characters that are only from the comics are mentioned in this game. So it's like,
we'll see them
maybe
in video game form.
Maybe. But yeah, so there's going to be Sonic content all throughout next year, which is great for me. But yeah, what I was going to say is that, like, I know you're going to wait, but I feel like if you're getting that itch, like, God of War Ragnarok, I feel like is a no-brainer. Like,
man, I mean, I'm having a hard time too. Like you said earlier, Fall Guys has that Ultraman skin. I'm like trying to work on slowly. Thanks, Fall Guys, for not letting me know when the fucking season ends. Also, I've been going through Odyssey and Destiny and Gundam. For me, this has been an interesting 3 weeks. Usually, I've only played like one game, and of course, all these games are converging. But of course, God of War, you didn't do the side stuff for the first one, like you rushed through the story, it's still great. Like no offense there, but there was like this side dungeon kind of crawl thing that was really interesting in the fourth one. And I'm just wondering if they have that same concept in the fifth one. And of course, I'll always bring up the Valkyries because I fucking killed them all, kicked their asses. I'm wondering if there's I heard there's some kind of version of that, but not as annoying. I have heard like all the characters are really cool, and of course, I have heard also more of the same but better. And I fucking love 4, and that's my first like intro to the series. And dude, I'll eat that shit up. So now that you're telling me, I'm like, man, maybe for my birthday I'll just go ham.
Hey man, you got about a little over 2 months until the new expansion for Destiny 2 comes out.
That's right. Lightfall comes out. Need to pre-order that shit still and get that fucking auto rifle. Anyway, yeah, God of War. Woo!
Yeah, God of War. Woo. I can see why people are calling it a 10 out of 10. It's not a perfect game, but it's a fucking very damn good game. Speaking of not perfect games, I have been playing Pokemon Scarlet, and everybody knows the technical problems that this game has.
There is, I think. I haven't touched it. I just love seeing everyone's videos.
Oh, it's fun. It's funny stuff. Like, don't get me wrong. It's funny shit. That being said, this is probably the most fun I've had in a Pokemon game since like Black and White.
Nice.
Like Black and White to me was like that moment in time where Pokemon was pivoting to like what they're eventually going to become with like the three, like going 3D and stuff like that. They were like trying to mess with like geometric shapes and like in cities and stuff and try to like push the DS as far as it could go. This is, I think, the equivalent of what Black and White was for the DS for Pokemon and like on the Switch. Now, to the detriment of that, you've seen all the technical issues like the frame rate drops and the robotic movements of passersby in the background and stuff like that.
Pokemon falling off cliffs. Pokemon
Yeah.
flying into the sky.
Funny enough, from what I've been playing, I haven't really had many issues. Like I've had the frame rate drops and stuff, and I've had the choppy kind of animations in the far background, right? In the pop-ins. But like I've been very fortunate enough to never have my game crash, which I've heard many people say that their games have crashed. I haven't had that, which I've been lucky. But yeah, I've just been having so much fun. Like to this day right now, I've just finished one of the actually no, I technically haven't finished any of the pathways yet. Just because I've been exploring and like finding all these new Pokemon and just catching as many as I can in between doing like gym battles and fighting Team Star and doing the Legends pathway. I will say this is my second time going in as dark as possible as far as like what the new Pokemon look like. And like I know it's hard because a lot of people like to talk about the new stuff before it comes out. I'd highly suggest trying to do that because this is my second time going in mostly dark about the new Pokemon, and it has been so much fun just to walk through a field and be like, "What the fuck is that?"
And that's just like felt with Sword and Shield, man.
that exactly for me the same. I did the same thing in Sword and Shield, and they had so much fun, and it's doing more of that for this game, but there are some nitpicks, I would say, for me at least, that don't hinder the game for me. It's just kind of like it's like, oh, I could see where, certain things kind of had to be pulled back a bit. You can't really talk to everybody in the game anymore like you used to. Like, you just walk up to somebody and they have some silly dialogue. You could talk to some people, and then there's people that will have like word bubbles above them that just say like a sort of thing, and then there's people that just you can't interact with at all, which is kind of like a double-sided sword kind of deal, because like how this game runs, right? You have the open world, and within this open world you have the cities and you have the people, and then all of the Pokemon, there's no more random encounters. All the Pokemon are live in the world, and all those Pokemon have all unique animations. Like there will be Pokemon that are walking around, there will be Pokemon that are running, there will be Pokemon that are swimming, there will be Pokemon that are flying, there'll be Pokemon that are hanging in trees. There's Pokemon that will go to sleep. And then there's Pokemon that were flying, but then they'll land and be on the ground, and they'll be walking on the ground. There's so many things that these Pokemon can just do in the open world, and they're all doing it in real time. Even when you're like fighting a Pokemon or fighting a trainer in the world, all these Pokemon are live the whole time. The only time that they're not ever live is if you're like doing like a Team Star battle, or if you're doing like a gym battle You know, that becomes like it's like its own instance in a way. But besides that, everything is live in the world, which is probably why this game is having such like technical issues as it is, just because there's so much data going off at like just in play at one time that I don't think Game Freak had enough time to optimize it as well as they could. A few days ago, they just released their first patch.
Oh, nice.
That, for one, that fixed rank battles for people that play online, and then apparently it fixed a little bit of the issues here or there. It's kind of hard to judge because they weren't very specific on like what got fixed, but they just said that they fixed a few of the like technical issues. So, I mean, Nintendo came out saying that they are going to be working on patching this game, so that's cool. It was kind of weird that Nintendo said it. Not that I expected Game Freak to say anything about it, but it's cool that they at least showed that they are seeing, you know, the players, you know, complaints about the graphical issues. So it's like, okay, that's nice. But besides that, I've been having a blast in Pokemon Scarlet.
Have you tried the co-op feature yet? I wanted to
not
ask, sorry.
yet. I was actually about to get to that.
Was.
I was actually about to get to that. I haven't done that yet, but from what I heard, it actually runs. Like, you still have all the other technical issues of the game, but as far as like doing the co-op stuff, it actually works. I've heard people play it, and it's pretty much you go into somebody's world and then you can just do whatever. The only exception is that you can't take on like battles together. It's pretty much you kind of have to like let one person or the other do it, or like if both of you are going to the same gym, your instances are separate instead of together. So like you can go into somebody's world and you can do everything there. It's just certain things are going to be locked to just you doing it and not the both of you doing it.
Put in dual battles to do with your friends or big battles.
See, that's the weird thing. Throughout this whole entire game so far, I've only run into one double battle.
Really? Interesting.
I don't know if, like, I'm sure, like, I know you can play double battles online, like just playing against another player. But as far as just like finding people in the world, like AI people in the world, I haven't really run into double battles at all.
If they're saving it for DLC, like a big double, triple battle expansion,
or maybe they just couldn't figure out a way to get it to run great. I don't know. Yeah. I did, however, try a bunch of the new Terror Raid battles, and those are fun.
What's that?
So you remember the raids from Sword and Shield?
Yeah.
So it's basically just that, but it's like the new version where it's like instead of fighting like a Gigantamax or like a Dynamax Pokemon, you're fighting a terrestrialized Pokemon. They did, during their advertisement for the game, they did mention how they took the responses from the raids from Sword and Shield, and then they made it like they made improvements onto the Terror Raid battles for Scarlet and Violet. So instead of everybody taking a turn, everybody's playing at once. So it's pretty much you load into a raid, and then everybody just starts, picking what they want to do. And so you just pick your move and you go, and then after your move goes off, you pick again, and you just kind of, everybody just goes at free at will.
Interesting.
And they made playing support a lot easier, because how before in Sword and Shield, if your Pokemon got knocked out, then while you're waiting for your Pokemon to get respawn back into the raid, your character can give people a random buff on your team, right? You can like you can cheer on your team and it gives them a random buff.
That's
In
cool.
this, they made that available like from the start. So let's say you load into a raid, for example, and then you realize that your Pokemon isn't up to snuff. With this, it's an option to give you so you don't just become a wasted space. So like when you cheer for your team, you can give them attack buffs, defense buffs. You can heal your other fellow players and stuff like that. And it's like, that's sick. Like this past weekend, they did a Charizard raid that was only for this past weekend, where its Terra type was Dragon. And
I bet everyone was on that shit.
oh yeah, it's level. It was a 7-star raid, which means it was a level 100 Charizard, and you can only access it yourself if you made it to post game content. For everybody else, they had to join somebody that had access to it. So I was lucky enough to, go through one of my Pokemon Discords and find a team that was doing it. And I apologize profusely when I threw in my like level 52 Gyarados. So I tried to fight a little bit, and then what I realized, like, oh wait, I could play support. And then so that's why I started doing. I just started, healing my team and playing defense. And so while I was kind of like, setting them up, they were just able to go out and attack and attack and attack, and they didn't have to worry about, playing defensively. I was just there to, keep pumping with heals and stuff like that. So, the raid took about, like 5 minutes or so, and they wiped out the Charizard, and I got a free Charizard out of it.
Hell yeah.
So the raids this time around are a lot of fun. I believe they already announced the next batch of raids for this next weekend. I believe they're like Tyranitar and Salamence. I think they're version exclusive Pokemon that have a special Terra type. So I'm probably going to do that again. see how far I can get. But yeah, been having a lot of fun. Of course, last night you took me through my first run at Destiny 2's version of King's Fall.
I also forgot to say, quick shout out to Rewinds and my buddy Flavor for the comp help. But yes, he actually took you through your first run of King's Fall, and only one of the encounters took like 2 attempts, I think. Maybe 3, maybe. But for the most part, we laid a lot of information on you. Yeah. We just ran through it, and most of them we just one-phased, honestly.
Yeah.
Sorry, one try. We didn't one-phase Oryx. We actually, I think it took 3. Got to an enrage, but we weren't worried. Or was it War Priest? I don't remember. We were like, oh, okay, whatever.
The War Priest, we almost flubbed.
Yeah.
Oryx we tried twice, but yeah, we didn't like. I want to say it took us like just a little over an hour to do.
It's
an hour and a half.
2.
But
consistently gaming, yeah, it was like an hour and a half.
Yeah, but like it wasn't a slog, which was great, and we got through pretty evenly. Like, of course, at this point, I feel like we are all over level for this raid, which probably made it a lot easier. But yeah, definitely a better experience than I remember from D1's King Fall raid. Okay. So that was cool. Thank you, and everybody in the clan for helping us through.
All right, let's give a quick rundown. So, first encounter was that out of 10? What would you give? You were just shooting the wall, letting me and Ben dunk. What would you rate that out of 10?
Oh, that was fun. Just because I was standing there shooting the walls and then doing Stone Cold impressions the whole first half. So that was pretty chill. I do remember that being a little bit more hectic back in the day. So it was kind of nice just to kind of walk in with that, Easy
we were
feeling.
going through the raid, Brian's like, "Oh, I remember this. It's coming back."
So like as far as we went in, I started remembering like, oh, I did this raid more than I thought I did. Because I felt, for some reason, I felt like I just kind of snuck in like near the end of the raid, but then after a while I was like, oh wait, no, I actually did this raid, and I was surprised.
What about what's totems was next? Oh wait, well, platforming, you could just say, like, give me a sentence that you felt about those tomb ships. Did it give you bad feelings? Or were
No,
you
because
pretty...
we aced that the first try.
We did.
We almost fucked up, but we made it. We made it. So the
All right, what
platform,
about totems?
I've never had that much of an issue with platforming in Destiny. Like, you know, there's been times where I've fucked up, but that's just because I fucked up. As far as like the totems are fine. Wasn't too difficult. Whenever we do a raid, when someone's teaching me how to raid, like I want to listen to like everything like instruction wise, but I don't really like get it stuck in my head until we actually do it. And so it was kind of nice that even going through it the first time, for the most part, like it was pretty much a one and done deal, except for like 2 encounters. But the totems are fine. The well, the one with the like the pods and the big ogre, Golgoroth. That one was interesting. Just like it felt weird that all the enemy spawns were like far in the back.
Yeah, design flaws.
I mean, I guess like I appreciated that it wasn't that much of a hassle, but I was literally standing in front of a doorway shooting my shotgun at the poor thrall and just waiting for him to come out. I will say though, I am kind of sad at the lengths that Xenophage came to, because I remember Xenophage as being a menace, and I understand why they did it, but Xenophage used to be this big like powerhouse machine gun, and it still is, but they've definitely slowed it down a lot, which I'm kind of sad about, but I understand why they did it.
To be killing fucking Morgoth and Last Wish, man. I mean,
Yeah.
War Priest has way more HP than that motherfucker. We did that. Someone needed a ship from Last Wish, and we destroyed Morgoth. It was a joke. We're so used to the sponges of War Priest and Oryx. All right, all right. We don't have to talk about War Priest and Daughters. All right, what do you think about Big Baddie Oryx?
That was the one that I was thinking that was going to be the hardest to do. And it got a little confusing for me at a certain point. I just kind of, messed up at a point where, because there's the whole, the platforms that you have to kind of, count on. And then you had the pools that had like the bombs in them. They had to make sure you didn't like step in at the wrong time. And after like the first go around, when we had to restart that portion, it started clicking more. I definitely would not feel confident being the one like calling like what's what. Like I'm definitely cool with being the floater for a little while if I ever do this raid again multiple times, which I might, but we'll see.
A lot of shit drops from it.
A lot of shit, and the drops I got were all right. I got most of the armor set, and I got 4 of the scout rifle, which is like all right.
Of Chelch's baby. The raid just hands them out. You want to do me? Here you go. Just unstop.
But yeah, overall, I would say it was actually a really good raiding experience, and I haven't raided in a bit, so it was a nice coming back to the raid scene, especially since we're probably getting a new raid in like 2 months.
Yep, we got a new dungeon this season though, so we'll see how that goes.
Oh.
Rumors are we return to the Deepstone Crypt for the dungeon, but we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, other than that, I've just been gaming a lot, dude. Um,
Yep.
and with that being said, I feel like we should start talking about the Game Awards. So, like I said before, this Thursday is the Game Awards. Geoff Keighley's big gaming presentation, event where, we get to award the games of the years and all that good stuff. But of course, what a lot of people are wondering is what's going to be revealed.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
Hell yeah.
I guess before we go into speculation, I should note at least these two announcements that were made prior, that Bandai Namco said that they're going to be revealing a new trailer for Tekken 8, which is great for me. I love that shit. The last trailer they dropped looked really sick, so more of that is great. And surprisingly, I guess because of a pre-order bonus leak photo, we are going to be getting some Jedi Survivor
Sir, I saw
information. I believe they said that we're actually going to get the next trailer at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
So I think that
was one of my predictions.
Yeah, that already checks off our bucket list at the moment. But of course, there's going to be some other surprises as well. I want to throw this to you, Joel. Since we already know that Jedi Survivor is going to be there. That's already good. And I can safely assume that we won't be getting anything like Destiny related, or I'd be very surprised if we get anything Mass Effect related, but that'd be great. Like, what?
I'd love it.
What would you want to see be revealed at the Game Awards?
I mean, I know I said Mass Effect earlier. A little more would be cool to see where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
I do want them to just go ham and do like a fucking Dragon Age reveal trailer. I'm just full on where they're at, gameplay and everything. Like, they've been teasing us for a while. I want to see what BioWare is up to. They've gone for obvious reasons. They've gone very radio silent. I think they're trying to reveal when they're ready, and they should, right? But I also want to, see where they're at. I want to see,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of their work, and I want to know, that's definitely one of them. My assumptions we'll get more Final Fantasy stuff too.
Oh yeah.
The redo of 7 has been doing numbers, so of course we'll probably see more of that. And then DLC announcements, of course. We got we got Back 4 Blood's new trailer out too. Maybe we'll see a little something from them, because they're, it's like Left 4 Dead, but whether people like it or not, it is the next thing in line. Maybe we'll get like hints of the future beyond the trailer. We'll see. I'm glad they're actually releasing content. I was thinking about that today. They were quiet for a while too, and then they started pumping stuff out. Sea of Thieves has been pretty strong. I wonder if they're going to release like another, like, hey, we teamed up with another big company like they did with Disney, or another continuation. So
yeah.
Or I don't know, they might be biding their time.
I would love that.
Well, I just thought, I don't know if there's still, isn't Ubisoft still working on the Star Wars game, or did that get scrapped? That's still happening?
Yes.
Maybe we'll get something of that.
Maybe?
I know they teased a lot of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
So of course, we love that shit. We'd love to see that, and of course, Skull and Bones. Come on, let's see it for real. Let's fucking go. Come on.
Yeah, they have.
Even if it's bad, put it out, so at least we're done. Put it out.
Yeah, they pushed it back again, so let's hope. Let's hope for the best.
And Pokemon DLC for everyone else. You guys fucking love Pokemon. So
I think it'd be way too early for that, but that'd be interesting to see
an announcement.
Or just like one big video. It's like, we're fixing it. Don't worry.
I would personally love to see a resurgence of a exploration Digimon game.
Oh.
Anything of the Zoids variety. Or
Oh.
Metabots. Those are my 3 biggest shots in the dark that probably won't happen.
Wow.
The triple threats of not happening. But I'm gonna have high hopes that they've been revisiting properties. I mean,
dude,
if anything we see with Gundam Evolution, those 3 could be touched. I'm just putting it out there. Someone out there.
Bruh, imagine a sick ass Metabot like action game.
Right.
I've surprisingly been hearing like Metabots more often lately, so that'd be kind of sick.
On it. They've comparing it to Pokemon of all things. I guess you
Metabots?
can.
No.
Right? And I'm like, it's just a Pokemon rehash. And I'm like, what? How dare you?
If anything, I always considered like Metabots to be like Beyblade, but with like actual robots.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I mean, I would love for them to Gundam Evolution is flex and say, yo, fucking burning Gundam's coming, but that's a whole nother shot in the dark.
Oh,
that's me. What about you, Brian? What are you having any wild predictions or reveals you want to see?
Knowing the Game Awards and knowing Geoff Keighley's relationships, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we would see something more about Hideo Kojima's next game.
Oh yeah, he teased it a little bit.
They're fucking best friends. Like, I feel like now would be the time to actually like show off a little bit more, because Hideo Kojima's been like slowly like teasing like people that are in, like the actors are going to be in the game. Yeah. And we know that it's going to be on Xbox. It's going to be an Xbox game. So shit, if we could just see some random ass wild fucking trailer or something, or just like some kind of announcement from that'd be sick.
Metal Gear 7. Revengeance 2, Brian. Revengeance 2.
Don't tease me. Don't tease me like that. I would love a Revengeance 2, and I know it's never going to happen. Not while Konami's involved. It would be nice to see. Maybe we would get like a little bit of gameplay for Assassin's Creed Mirage, since it's coming out like at the early half of next year. It would be really nice to see some gameplay, since we already got the trailer. And right now Assassin's Creed has all the big hype because they just released the last chapter for, Valhalla, the ending Eivor story. And so they actually also just announced that they're releasing a little bit of game content that is supposed to help transition from Valhalla to Mirage, which is sick because they did something like this for Odyssey and Valhalla last year. And so it seems like they're starting to go on a trend where they want to kind of have transitional content between both games, which would be sick. So yeah, a little bit of Mirage gameplay would be nice. I feel like we're gonna get something Nintendo related. Whether it's gonna be, hopefully it'd be cool if they do like another like Mario game. Like if we get a Mario Odyssey, which this is gonna be like on like the very far end of like not so likely. What feels like would probably be more likely would maybe be another Zelda trailer of some kind, or just like Zelda like thing, because we're getting close to that too. I mean, it's a little bit farther away, but we're getting close to it. It's supposed to come out next year. But the one thing I'm really, really hoping that I get to see, they announced it 2 years ago, or 2 Game Awards ago. They had a trailer last year. Let's get a release date for Hellblade 2. My most anticipated game for the Xbox, Hellblade 2. Let's get a release date. we've seen a lot of it. I'd love to see more of it, but I just want to have it in front of me with my controller in my hand. I'm ready for that game to come out.
And I just remembered before we continue,
a
certain game came back from the dead not too long ago. I wonder if they're gonna tease the future of a possible Evolve 2. I'm just saying, they did
oh
another shot in the
yeah,
dark. They reactivated
the servers. That's right. That would be wild. It would be kind of like a sleeper. It would be like a dark horse announcement. Just like, Evolve 2.
Throwing that one in. All right, that's it. That'd
be wild. But yeah, Thursday, all our answers or all our questions will be answered, or even questions we didn't know we had yet. But of course, that's the speculative announcements that are going to happen at the Game Awards. There's also going to be awards, Joel. I didn't know if you knew that there's going to be awards at this award show.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like I'm looking at some of the titles like, all right, Elden Ring, God of War, Elden Ring, like.
Well, you know what? Let's take a look, shall we? Of course, if you're only listening to the audio version, right now, I have pulled up here what is the 2022 Game Awards nominees list. You can see all the different
website too.
This is the Game Awards website. Now let's do this list in reverse, Joel. Let's start from the bottom up, end with the game of the year. So of course there's going to be the first ones that I feel like we're not going to be really interested in, but we're going to take a look here. We're going to have best esports event.
See that? Yep.
Recognizing an event across single or multiple days that delivered a best of class experience for participants and the broadcast audience. I don't know why that was hard for me to say. That's so weird. Okay. But we have EVO 2022. We have League of Legends World Championship 2022. The PLG Major Antwerp. I haven't even heard of this game. I haven't even heard of this play. I don't know what that is. The 2022 Mid-Season Invitational and the Valorant Championships 2022.
Antwerp is for Counter-Strike, just so you know.
Interesting. Okay.
I looked it up.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I know what I would vote for, just because I am a fighting game boy. EVO was pretty hype this year. Although it's unfortunate we couldn't have Marcelo on the podcast because he was actually at the League of Legends World Championship, and it was actually in the Bay Area too, which is wild. But I always feel like League of Legends always has like the big pomp and circumstance, so I wouldn't be surprised if they won this. But at the end of the day, like I said, this is a
throw it to EVO too.
This is like an category for us for the most part.
Let's say we chose EVO. We'll see what Thursday tells us.
Let's choose EVO. We have the best esports coaches. It's safe to say we have no idea who the fuck these people are. Not to say that,
though, it's gonna be Blade, who's been on Counter-Strike. That's my guess. If I'm gonna throw in a guess.
Okay. Not to say that all these people are probably very accomplished in the games that they coach, but not for us. Best esports team: Dark Zero Esports for Apex Legends, FaZe Clan for CS:GO, Gen G for League of Legends, LA Thieves for Call of Duty, and Loud for Valorant. Wow, I'm not surprised, but I'm actually a little surprised there isn't an Overwatch team on it this year.
Same.
Yeah, this is kind of a crapshoot. I don't have no idea.
Heard of FaZe Clan. I've heard of them.
Oh, FaZe Clan is like the big deal.
I'm gonna say Apex Legends underdog.
Oh, maybe either that or Loud for Valorant, because people like Valorant, right?
People love Valorant.
Yeah. And then best esports athlete. Let's see. Oh god, I'm probably gonna butcher this name. I am sorry. Jung Kobe Jihu for from League of Legends. Lee Faker saying he oh god, I am so sorry. My dyslexia is not helping me either. Let's see. Finn Kerrigan Anderson for FaZe Clan. Oxander Simple. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the name. I am sorry. Simple. And Jacob Ye Whitaker for Valorant. Again, I don't know. But congratulations to the nominees.
Best Kerrigan gets it.
Hey, there you go. Best esports game, though, Counter-Strike, Dota 2, League of Legends. Rocket League is actually on the list this year.
Hell yeah.
And then Valorant. I think just because of the more recent popularity, I would probably say Valorant might win.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to go with Rocket League just because, Rocket League is an older game, but, they've been able to kind of stick their ground, and, to have them on the list, that's fucking sick. Okay. So that's esports games. Okay, now we're kind of getting into the known territory, at least for us. So we have the most anticipated game, which is kind of weird that this is the category to begin with.
Yeah.
We have Final Fantasy 16. We have Hogwarts Legacy, the Resident Evil 4 remake, Starfield, and then Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, Joel, I feel like I know what your answer might be, but I want to ask you, who do you think could win out of this list?
Starfield or Legend of Zelda. That's definitely top two. I feel like Hogwarts Legacy could be worth mentioning because it is like based on the character creation, it seems pretty cool what you could do, even though the Legacy of Harry Potter is kind of, like a lot of things, mixed bag now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Final Fantasy as well is just so damn popular. I think for me personally, Starfield or Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Queen. So, I don't know. That's me. What about you? What do you think?
I mean, I would have to agree, just because everybody's been wanting the sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting that. Starfield has been talked about for a while, and we just got to see a little bit of gameplay from it from the Summer Game Fest this year. And, the hype is still real. But of course, I kind of don't want to rule out the Resident Evil 4 remake just because so many people, like ever since they did the remake for 2,
true,
all everybody was talking about was 4. Like, we need a remake for 4. We need remake for 4. And now it's a thing. It's real. But yeah, I'd say, like you said, Starfield or Tears of the Kingdom probably are the better bets, but I would say Resident Evil 4 is probably a close third. Not to say Hogwarts Legacy, like diehard Harry Potter and like Wizarding World fans are probably gonna love it.
Mm-hmm.
There is that little bit of stink on it though,
mm-hmm.
which is kind of hard. And then Final Fantasy 16, I probably would try playing it, but I feel like I would probably go play remake first. But this game seems cool. But yeah, definitely Starfield or Legend of Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
We got best adaptation, Arcane League of Legends from the Netflix series, Cyberpunk Edge Runners from the Netflix, as well as the Cuphead show, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie, and the Uncharted movie. This one for me is actually a little bit harder. because you know me, I love me some Sonic, and Sonic 2 was really good, at least for me.
And good. It was fun. It was good.
Yeah.
It was a good Sonic movie. Good. It's honestly one of the best video game adaptation films. Both of them. They're really good.
Yeah.
Even with the whole ugly Sonic debacle.
So the weird thing is that these are all very different. And it's not that
4 of them are good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't really say much about Uncharted. I didn't watch that movie. But like let's just say, like, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 might have a chance just because it is like the movie and it is the most widely released property out of the 5 here. But let's just focus on like Netflix shows for a moment. Like, look at all of them. You have the very
Fuck.
Right? You have the very artistic and like stylized like Arcane, which is a very good show. Like it's a very, like, you have, even if you're not a League of Legends fan, like the show itself is just really good.
I've heard amazing things in Arcane.
I haven't heard of Cyberpunk. I not heard. I haven't seen Edge Runners yet, but I heard it was really good and it has like nice. It's by Studio Trigger, so it's like you have good like animation there, and it was so good it got people to go back to playing Cyberpunk again, which is wild. And then you have Cuphead, which is more of the, you know, if you played Cuphead or if you watched any of the old, you know, cartoons from back in the day, you know, you have that style. And so it's like, it's just 3 different shows that are very different. And it's like, it's hard to kind of pick like how do they explain this? Recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium.
And it's shows versus movies too, which I think is a real interesting thing to pit against each other. I feel like they should have done like adaptive cinema and adaptive serial show.
I mean, you don't have, when it comes to video game adaptations, you don't really get much of a choice.
True too. Or good, let alone good ones. But here we have 4 good ones and a movie. So I mean, it's okay. I'll shit on Uncharted all day. But the best part about Uncharted was not Marky Mark. I'm gonna say it was fun.
Oh.
If you take Marky Mark out, it's honestly it's like 10 times better. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
It's fun. Turn your brain off, fun. But yeah, Sonic 2 waves better, you know, like leagues better, you know.
All right.
And I don't know.
So Joel, let's say if you're on the committee, which we're not, let's be perfectly clear. If you're on the committee that had to vote, and it's like, okay, Joel, you have to pick one. You know, which one would you think would win?
Sonic. I mean, I know that the other 3 are probably really good, but I didn't see them yet, and they're just on the back burner for me. All our friends have checked them out and they praised them. I just haven't gotten to them.
Yeah, I mean, my heart goes with Sonic, just because, but I feel like with recency bias, like there is Cyberpunk, but then Arcane, just as it is like a marvel as far as like animation goes.
Yeah.
So I want Sonic to win. I feel like Sonic deserves to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Arcane wins. Even though it is, I guess technically, I don't remember when Uncharted came out, but I think Arcane is like the oldest out of the list as far as like release date, but people still talk about it. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Arcane won, but yeah, I'm pulling for Sonic, hopefully. Best
Arcane was 2021.
Oh wow. Okay. Best debut indie. For best debut game created by a new independent studio, we have Neon White from Angel Matrix and Annapurna. Norco from Geography of Robots and Raw Fury. You have Stray from Blue 12 Studios and Annapurna. And you have Tunic from Tunic Team and Finji. And then Vampire Survivors by Ponko? Ponko? Probably pronouncing that wrong. Out of all the games that are on this list, I've only played Tunic for a little bit. As cute as it is, though, I don't think it's gonna win.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think it's gonna go to Stray.
You think so?
That internet power is pretty strong. Tunic was pretty fun though.
So that's the thing.
Fun
like,
looking. I didn't play it, but it looked more of the same. Light fun.
So that's the thing. Like, it's weird because I've heard so many people talk about how good Vampire Survivors is. Like, some people have like not jokingly said like Vampire Survivors was their game of the year.
Oh wow.
So, and Neon White, I heard was pretty good too. I heard it was a fun game. I guess it would probably be up to between Stray and Vampire Survivors. I'm kind of leaning on Vampire Survivors just based off what I've heard about it. But I wouldn't be surprised if the power of Cat wins the day.
Yeah.
All right. On to Content Creator of the Year, which is a little bit funny. Got Carl Jacobs, Ludwig, Nibelian, which is a very ironic choice because recently Nibelian just quit or had to stop doing their social media reportings and stuff like that, which is very sad. So this is kind of like almost like a post-humorous addition. Nobru and QT Cinderella. So I only know 2 of these. Maybe it's just because we're getting old.
I don't know any of them. Fuck. I think I've heard of QT Cinderella and Carl Jacobs, maybe.
I don't know. Like, I know Ludwig. I've seen Ludwig a lot. And I know Nibelian just from, all of their reportings on Twitter. And it was really sad when they had to announce that they had to stop because they, it was just, they couldn't make it, profitable for a career, unfortunately. So, like, a part of me kind of wants Nibelian to win just to be like, hey, man, we appreciate what you did for us. I know it was really hard to try to make it self-sustaining, but, we appreciate all the video game reporting that you've done over the years. So I feel like I would have to go for Nibelian just because I feel like just give them like one last hurrah as they walk out the door.
Stand with you on that one.
All right. So this one's actually interesting. Best multiplayer game of the year. We got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Multiverses, Overwatch 2, Splatoon 3, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
Didn't even know it was multiplayer.
This is a very interesting lineup. I don't know. Like, Joel, we've played Overwatch 2.
The same fucking thing with one less tank.
Yeah. So
nothing really fresh about it.
Nothing really fresh about it.
Does it have a ping? I don't remember. Does it have a ping system?
Overwatch 2? Yes, it does.
Okay.
They made sure to add the ping system.
Okay.
Shredder's Revenge is pretty sick. couch co-op online is pretty fun. Splatoon 3 is okay. It had kind of a weird start, and it hasn't really picked up steam as much as people thought it would. Like it kind of like talk about it kind of died down a little bit, unfortunately. Modern Warfare 2 has the most recency bias, and depending who you ask, because this is the first Call of Duty that they implemented the skill-based matchmaking.
Yep.
And so depending on who you are, that's either a positive or minus. But also they just released Warzone, so that's even more adding to like the recency bias. Mm-hmm. Multiverses had so much steam kicking up, but then it really died down super quick, which is unfortunate because it's nice, but at the beginning it just kind of stalled real fast. Probably have to go with Modern Warfare 2. Like, yeah,
certainly it's pretty.
It looks great.
Multiverses, because it's actually kind of different.
It is pretty different. Yeah, this one's kind of like an up in the air. I guess it just depends on how people voted.
Yeah, and you know, couch co-op is always great. Can't go wrong with that. But we don't really. I mean, that's like the only game that has it, and I mean, none of us got it. We certainly didn't try to play couch co-op with that.
Not yet, anyway.
I don't see Gundam Evolution on here. That's my problem.
That's too recent.
Didn't meet the cutoff point. I feel like Overwatch 2 has it. Overwatch always had a lot of steam, for better for worse. It is the most popular games, and reason, you know. So
true. Also, say hey, Oda James in the chat. Welcome.
Just talking about your game.
Yeah. This category, I feel like, is one of those kind of like we just need to throw these things together category. Best sports / racing game.
Oh yeah.
We got F1 22, FIFA 23, NBA 2K 23, Gran Turismo 7, and Ollie Ollie World.
Ollie Ollie.
No offense to any of these games, except for maybe Gran Turismo 7, but or Ollie Ollie World, but this feels like a nothing category this year.
I mean, if you really like sports, it's probably a big deal.
I just remember
one of my buddies is playing NBA 2K23, so I guess I'll go with that. But I know FIFA is damn popular too. Maybe with the World Cup, there's a resurgence. So.
No. All I know is that Gran Turismo 7 had the probably the worst launch that a Gran Turismo game has had. They had so many like issues with like all of like the microtransactions and stuff like that. Like I actually forgot that like Gran Turismo 7 came out until this list came up. But yeah. You say NBA, you know, hard to deny the NBA. Best sim / strategy game. We got Dune Spice Wars, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
It's your vote. I know it.
Total War, Warhammer 3, 2 Point Campus, and Victoria 3. I don't know. What do you think?
Fuck, man, I haven't played a strategy game in years. I mean, you had the movie. I mean, Warhammer is very popular. You know, for those who play with the minis and stuff. I've never heard of 2 Point Campus. I just looked up Victoria 3. Probably gonna go to Warhammer or Mario Rabbids, honestly. Surprised Mario Rabbids is even on that list, to be honest. Is it a strategy game?
It's a strategy game. It's definitely a strategy game. I feel like it would probably have the most wider audience compared to the other four on this list. Also, there's Mario in it, so that's like an extra bonus. So I'd probably say Mario and Rabbids. Best Family Game, aka the Nintendo Award.
Nintendo.
Stop. Kirby, we got Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, Mario plus Rabbids: Sparks of Hope, Nintendo Switch Sports, and Splatoon 3. I'm not going to hesitate. I say that this is Kirby's year. Kirby should win this category, if anything else, because Kirby and the Forgotten Lands was a fantastic game. Took Kirby into a new direction. The game itself looked fucking beautiful. It was a lot of fun. No offense to the other games on this list, except for maybe Mario plus Rabbids.
Maximum offense.
Switch Sports is fine. It kind of rub people a little bit the wrong way, just because some of the content had to be pushed back a little bit. Already talked about Splatoon 3. Maybe just like the Lego Star Wars power.
That's what I'm thinking. They'll win.
Because Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga is a really fun and good game. Don't get me wrong. But like, I am showing my little bit of bias, but also just because I think Kirby and the Forgotten Land is just such a good game that I kind of want it to win.
See. We'll see.
All right. Best fighting game. So this one, in the fighting game community, this one is a little bit of a head scratcher. You got DNF Duel. You got JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. King of Fighters 15. Multiverses. And Sifu. Sifu, the single player action game,
has fighting.
And you punch and kick things, therefore it is a fighting game. Don't give me. I haven't played it yet. I do want to play it now that I have a PS5. I've heard nothing but great things about Sifu. It sounds like a very fun game. It should not have been in this category. Like, yes, it's been a slow year for fighting games, but like, you could have just thrown in like some bullshit entry that at least made sense. As far as who might win this, maybe overall popularity, you have Multiverses, but I feel like at least in the fighting game community, King of Fighters has been popping off a little bit. DNF Duel has been popping off. Shout out to JoJo. They remade a game that came out in the PS3 that I played back in the day. They did change it up, so they actually made it more Marvel style, which was kind of weird. But shout out to JoJo for being here. You know what's up. This, I feel like, I just want to say this real, like, I feel like for the fighting game section, I feel like this is probably going to be the hardest to judge on, just because not everybody is a fighting game, like a hardcore fighting game player. So it's so hard to predict what's actually going to win and what should win. Because you can ask anybody in the fighting game community and they can tell you exactly who they think should win. But you have to remember, so many other people are voting in this that necessarily are not deep in the trenches, in the sweat pits. So if I had to make my prediction, if it's based off of just the majority, I could see Multiverses maybe squeaking out with the win.
That too.
Just based off of people within the community that I've seen play a lot, I could see DNF Duel probably winning. Just based off of kind of pseudo recent, but like still like it's an Arc System game, so it's a good looking game and it looks a lot of fun. Yeah. Do you have anything to add to this category?
I think Multiverses might win. I'm gonna throw it underdog. I'm gonna throw it to King of Fighters.
Oh, okay. Solid choice. Not bad. Oh, that's right. Jameson in chat made a good point. Sifu, I think they are trying to make a movie for Sifu, which would be actually really neat.
Oh.
Get like a good like martial arts like director for that movie. Oh, that would be sick.
Hell yeah.
I'd watch that. Best role playing
Uncharted, right?
Oh, maybe. Best role playing game. We have Elden Ring, Live Alive, Pokemon Legends Arceus is here.
Fun. I don't think it'll be Elden Ring though.
No way. Triangle Strategy, and then Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I mean, it's probably going to be Elden Ring, right?
That's my thought. That thing dominated and still dominates.
Yeah. Like I can see an argument made for Xenoblade. There is a sizable audience that really loves Live Alive. It's a great game on its own. But I mean, Elden Ring is, especially since I think some Elden Ring content comes out tomorrow. So like Elden Ring has been in like the cultural zeitgeist for this almost entire year.
Mm-hmm.
And it hasn't slowed down. So this might be one of Elden Ring's first awards of the night for sure. Best action adventure game. We got A Plague Tale Requiem, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Tunic.
I need to play Horizon 1. Fuck. I think it's tied between Ragnarok and Plague Tale. I see a lot of people really enjoying the adventure of Plague Tale, but also, I mean, Ragnarok just came out, and of course, people dove into that, and know this without even playing. It's amazing. It's they'll do things.
It's interesting because I think it's between God of War and Horizon.
Like, I heard mixed things about that, but I mean, maybe I heard from the wrong people. I don't know. It's probably still a great game. I just
like God of War is God of War. Yeah, you can't deny that. However, I think if Horizon is to win anything this year, I feel like this is the category it has to win, or this is the category it only has the chance of winning in. Even though I really love God of War, I kind of hope that Horizon wins because I feel bad because Horizon Zero Dawn got overshadowed by Breath of the Wild, and I kind of hope it doesn't get overshadowed again because like I for the most part enjoyed Zero Dawn. I haven't finished it. It doesn't vibe with me 100%, but I can see why a lot of people really love this franchise. And it'd be kind of sad to have it get snubbed again because of other big games that came out around that time. So this one will be actually a very interesting category to see who wins. Best action game. We got Bayonetta 3, which we've talked about a lot in this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 for best action game. We have Neon White. We have Sifu, which is here. And then Shredder's Revenge, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Joel, one of these things does not look like the other. One of these things has a fucking AK. So this is another weird category. So best action game according to Game Awards, for the best game in the action genre focused primarily on combat. Very vague.
That is pretty vague.
But let's look at the thing. We have Bayonetta 3, which is a strict like a character action game. You have Neon White, which is kind of like a runner, like action oriented game. You have Sifu, which is strictly a fucking action game. And then you have Shredder's Revenge, which is it's a side scroller beat 'em up like action game. Call of Duty, like when you think of Call of Duty, do you think action game or do you think first person shooter?
First person shooter.
Yeah. So
probably gonna win though.
That's the thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way. Like I don't like. Yeah, there's a big possibility it might win just because it's popular, but like best action game? Like I know there hasn't been that many shooters, but like like I would really kind of hope that Sifu would win this because I feel like it deserves it.
I think so. It stands out. It's different.
It's different. It's different. Like Neon White is also very different. But like I think as far as just like what Sifu did in its game and like it is still being talked about still. And I mean Neon White is very recent still and it's very good. But like Call of Duty, I don't know. That's a weird one. But yeah. Hopefully Sifu would win that. This one is actually going to be very interesting. Best VR and AR game. After the Fall, Among Us VR, Bone Lab, Moss Book 2, and Red Matter 2. I mean, we talked about it before. We're not really in the VR market at the moment. So I kind of just want to throw my hat at Among Us just because it's Among Us. Yeah. And now it's in VR. So that's it. Now this one's actually going to be interesting. Innovation and accessibility.
Yeah.
Recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. So this is actually going to be a very interesting category because I'm not too familiar with The Quarry and As Dusk Falls. The Last of Us Part 2 had a lot of like accessibility features, and I know that they added even more for the remake of Part 1. God of War Ragnarok also has a lot of good accessibility features. And I know Monkey Island has some too. I would actually kind of lean towards Last of Us Part 1 just because, like I said, like 2 had a lot, and I think the remake of 1 just had a lot more as far as accessibility.
Wondering what, like, is there a list of things that they did that gives that innovation and accessibility, or is it what are they new things they're making or things they added? Like that's what I want to know. But
on the website they don't have a list, but I'm sure like if we look up the games individually, we could find out.
Yeah.
But I know at least for for Sony, like Sony has been really actually pushing a lot of their games to try to be more accessible recently, which is great. I think all game studios should really be doing that, to be honest. But yeah, I actually think Last of Us might win this one, which is cool. Truthfully, like this category is just kind of like a category to show like, hey, look, all these games are trying to push forward and making games more accessible to everybody, which is fantastic.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. We're getting close to the end. Best community support. Now, Joel, I know you might be a little bit biased on this one, so we're gonna take this as it comes. Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. What are your opinions?
I mean, I don't really play Apex anymore. I can't even really get a fair pulse on it. I assume it's still very popular and has a good following. I mean, you know my thoughts on Destiny 2. I gave a fucking essay to one of our friends today in the chat, whether he wanted it or not. Final Fantasy 14 also has a really big following. Fortnite, of course, huge following, huge community support of all ages, I gotta say too. You know, that's what's I think good about that. Of course, No Man's Sky. I mean, I played it this year for the first time. It was fun. I didn't think it had that big of community support, but it's on the list.
So No Man's Sky has been doing a great job of giving out free updates, like more recently. So I can definitely see it being a contender. Now, you being in like like you're hardline into Destiny 2.
Oh yeah.
Do you
hate that game? Playing it tomorrow. That's the joke everyone makes.
Could you make an argument that out of these 5 games, like Destiny 2 has been like the best this year as far as community?
I mean, like, put out good content. I feel like the community's been fucking awful to Destiny. Not gonna lie. You know, going after creators, harassing them, finding their information. Not this year. Last year, yeah. It's unfortunate because it's a mixed bag this year, but I always find myself, of course, like I thought their content was amazing so far, but fans are fans, and one creator says one thing and fucking 3,000 people flip their lid. As much as I love Destiny, I think it has to go to Fortnite, honestly.
Oh,
because when Destiny updates come, people are excited, but I know when a Fortnite update comes, you're on it. Like you are in it. I'll tell people about Destiny. Like, all right, cool. The fervor and passion people have for Fortnite is far. I mean, it's. I feel like it's genuine. Destiny 2, I think, been around for a while.
Bruh. I am not gonna lie. Chapter 4 just came out this past Sunday. I cannot tell you how excited I got that there's vaulting in Fortnite now. You could fucking leap over obstacles. It's fucking great. I love it. It's so stupid because like we've had it since Gears 1. We've had vaulting since back in the 360 days. So I don't know why it got me so excited to have it in Fortnite, but it did. I don't know what they do to get me that excited. And you got Doom Guy and you got Doomslayer and Geralt in the game now, and you're going to get Deku eventually. Yep. Fortnite's fucking wild.
Licensing, their legal team and licensing team, holy shit.
Oh yeah.
God. Fucking nerds, or good marketing and advertising research, I guess, at least. I think it's gonna go to Fortnite. I love you, Destiny, but I don't think you. I think when Lightfall comes around, yeah, everyone's gonna love you, but not right now.
All right, like I can't deny Fortnite is a powerhouse. It's nice to have No Man's Sky mentioned, and of course, Final Fantasy 14 has a big audience, so that's also in the running. So we will see. We will see for this. Best mobile game. Apex Legends Mobile, Diablo Immortal, Genshin Impact, Marvel Snap, and Tower of Fantasy.
Oh, have phones, don't you?
We got all phones.
Phones.
Um.
Marvel Snap or Apex. Oh, sorry, Marvel Snap or Genshin.
Okay.
I change it.
Since Marvel Snap is the only one I've played on this list, I will have to go for Marvel Snap. Also, just because it's very fun. I played it on stream. I had a fun time. Genshin Impact is still going strong. Like we know people that play it almost every day. I haven't heard too much about Apex Legends Mobile. I don't know how good that is, and we all know the microtransaction pit that is Diablo Immortal, which is unfortunate because from what I heard, it's a really good game. It's just drowned in microtransactions. So yeah, my vote's Marvel Snap, but I wouldn't be surprised if Genshin wins the day.
Yep.
We got Best Indie. Got Cult of Lamb, Neon White, Sifu, Stray, and Tunic. I'm just gonna say it's right now. Cult of Lamb better win. Like, not only like best of indie, like Cult of Lamb is in my top 5 games of this year. Like whenever
different and fun enough.
Yeah, like just the idea of Cult of the Lamb, I think, is just so out there. Not like out there, but like it's just it has something about it that just like makes you want to keep playing it. Yeah, like whenever we get to our like end of the year content, like this will definitely be in my top 5. So I'm very biased. But yeah, I think Cult of the Lamb's gonna win.
So
okay. All right, Joel. Here's one I want to get your opinion on. Best ongoing game, awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. We got Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact.
That's a list, man. Honestly, fuck. I just don't know. Heart is with what my heart's with, but
oh, I know.
Fuck, it's honestly fuck.
It's hard. It's very hard.
Hard. Yeah.
Like let's break it down a little bit. You know, I honestly haven't heard, like, I know Apex Legends just got recently a new legend to playable, but I feel like out of the 5, this one's probably the least talked about as of recently.
Oh, yeah. Titanfall 3, that's why.
Yeah. Now Fortnite has the most advantage at this moment just because, like I said, they just started chapter 4 this past weekend. And so I can guarantee you a lot of people up until Thursday who haven't voted yet will be voting for Fortnite, maybe. Genshin has its loyal fan base. Final Fantasy 14 has its loyal fan base. In your opinion, does Destiny 2 have any edge over the other 3 at this moment?
But even then, like, story can't save it, I don't know. It's tough. They're all really good contenders. I'll say I'll vote for Destiny, but it's probably going to be Fortnite or Genshin, honestly.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely really hard, especially now that we've gotten so far into a lot of these like games as a service games and like ongoing games. It's hard to beat the Epic money. It really is.
Yeah.
But I can't deny saying that we haven't had some really good times this year with Destiny 2, just as far as like the Witch Queen expansion goes.
Pirate ship, hell
Pirate
yeah.
ship. So we will see. Okay, we're at the top 8 of the categories. We're almost there, Joel. We got games for impact. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning and message. Got a Memoir Blue, As Dusk Falls, Citizen Sleeper, Endling Extinction is Forever, Hindsight, and I Was a Teenage Existential Exocolonist. Okay. I personally don't have much experience with any of these games.
Same, fortunately.
I heard some really good things about Hindsight.
Heard things about As Dusk Falls, funny enough, but
that too.
I'm gonna say, just for me, Extinction is Forever Endling. The title alone is like, damn, right in your face. The point to me. But I feel like only because the only one I know, is probably As Dusk Falls.
Yeah.
All I got.
I'm sure whoever wins this one, I think it would be a very well-deserved win. Okay, this one, best performance, awarded to an individual for voiceover, acting, motion, and or performance capture. Got Ashley Birch as Aloy for Horizon for Horizon Forbidden West. We got Charlotte McBurney for A Plague Tale Requiem. Of course, we got Kratos himself, Christopher Judge for God of War Ragnarok. For Immortality, we have Man Engage. And then we have the boy himself, Sonny Suljic, for God of War Ragnarok as Atreus. Boy, this one's this one's rough. Because, like I said, like this whole Game Awards show is going to be based off of recency bias for the most part.
Yeah,
it's like no, like I feel like everybody here did a fantastic job in their respective games. Like Ashley Birch is a very well-known voice actor in her own right. Played many cool characters in video games and anime alike, or just cartoons in general. But I mean, like, this is my bias talking, but like, God, Christopher Sonny is doing excellent work in Ragnarok.
I'd expect nothing less.
Like, I can't, like, I would have to lean towards Judge just because it's Kratos, but it's like I feel like either of them can win. You know, I think like Ashley could also possibly win as well, but that's just because, you know, we've been taking in her work for so long that was like she's just really good at what she does. But like, God, the performance in God of War Ragnarok is just top notch. And it'd be kind of nice to see at least one of them get an award, you know.
I think Kratos is gonna win, but I think Aloy should win. That's what I think.
Fair enough. It's really hard to pick your favorite, especially there's just a lot of good actors this year.
Ooh, this next category though, ooh, that's even
best audio design.
God,
recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design, we got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Gran Turismo 7, and Horizon Forbidden West. This is so interesting because they're also like unique in their own
they're
like
all
ways.
powerhouses too. I think I'm gonna give it to Elden Ring or Horizon because three of them are sequels. You know, they have
Mm-hmm.
stuff to build upon. I mean, so is Horizon, but Horizon at least is more different than the others. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Elden Ring is you know it is like Dark Souls, but it's still different kind of fantasy setting. And you know, there's been 5 God of Wars, 7 Gran Turismos, a bazillion Call of Duties. You know, I feel like those two, at least in my mind, stand out.
That's fair. That's fair enough. Um, I know people have been making fun of like, oh, yeah, Call of Duty, you have to have those really good gun noises, but like to be fair, they do take the effort in
Yep.
like the accuracy of like the noises they make. Elden Ring, I could see a big argument for that. Um, of course, there's my bias for God of War, but from what I've heard, like Horizon Forbidden West, I heard is just a really good sounding game. So I feel like I have to go with you on Horizon there. Best score in music. This one, A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Metal Hellslinger, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'd have to go with God of War. Barrett McCreary's music is just so good. He's such a great composer. But like if you look at like a game like Metal Hellslinger, just on like the feat of getting so many metal bands that agree to work on one game is also like a feat in of itself.
I can. I don't want to be unfair to any of these. I would have to
Right?
truly listen to their soundtracks, especially being you know music musically inclined person myself. So
Mm,
I can't. I mean, the other ones I'll cast whatever as a gamer, but this one I a place in my heart. I can't. I don't know. I can't.
okay. Well, I'm
You know,
going.
God of War was good, but
It is
I
good.
haven't listened to it. So
God of War for me. Best art direction. We got this. So this is at the point of the time where we're seeing a lot of very recurring games here. So we got Elden
yeah.
Ring, God of War, Horizon, Scorn, and Stray.
I will say, you know, we're kind of familiar with some of these. I just because again, I'm going for like what's different. I think Scorn is fucking gross. Honestly, it
It
looks
is very
nasty.
gross.
It's different. Honestly, like it's a fucking gross adventure shooter, right? From what I've
Hmm.
seen in the trailer, I haven't played it, of course. Um, but based on you know, it's disgusting. But it's actually different. You know, like God
Hmm.
of War, it's what we expect. Elden Ring, same thing. Horizon, you know, a little bit too. Stray is pretty different too. It's like a adventure cat game. You know,
Yeah.
power of the cat, the internet, and all that, but still different enough. You know, it's not a cat with a fucking AK reload and have to pay your respects. You know,
Oh wow, that would be a
no
very
offense to
different game.
you know, no disrespect to Call of Duty. That years I spent playing it, but it's I got to give it to those two. You know, for
Okay,
those reasons.
that's very fair. That's very fair. Like yeah, I agree. Like Scorn is definitely not a game for me at all, but it is like the most weirdest, different out of the others. So I could see that possibly winning. A lot of arguments for Elden Ring as well. I feel like a lot of people would have arguments. Yeah, this one would be a little bit hard. Um, Scorn would definitely be like the dark horse of this category for sure. So we will see about that. All right. Last three, the top three categories.
Three baby.
Best narrative, we have A Plague Tale, Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon, and Immortality. Uh,
Plague Tale and God of War done. Those two.
see,
Probably
yeah,
God
I
of
mean,
War. Probably God of War is gonna win.
see, this is just a hard thing because all these games have somewhat different styles of narrative storytelling. So is this is like the up to interpretation like category. Um yeah. Like I know a lot of people are going to be fighting for Elden Ring. I'm going to be fighting for God of War just cuz I love it so much. Plague Tale shouldn't be overlooked either. Like all these shouldn't be overlooked. So it's going to be really hard. This is a crapshoot. All right, category 2, best game direction, awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Uh, pretty much the same. We got Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon, Immortality, and Stray.
I Immortality is a little bit innovative because it's like an interactive video movie game. You know, I think that is different. But this is all tough, honestly.
It is tough.
It's probably gonna be God of War though. I mean, God of War, Elden Ring, probably what it's gonna be because it's the video game awards. You know, it's a video game movie. I don't know. It's like the first kind that I can think of. I don't know.
I know I've been like on the boat for God of War. However, for this category, I can see Elden Ring maybe being the one that wins, only because for a lot of people, this is like the culmination of all of like the Souls-like video games. And it being like the open world, you know, Dark Souls game, you have all this different like creativity going on within in the space. Just as like a fan of that genre, I could see like God of War is very good, but like I said earlier in the podcast, it is more but better. So it hasn't really changed much of how it plays. It's still mostly the same. It's still great and gorgeous and wonderful, but it's not too different. Elden Ring, I feel like as far as like the big games go, like this is the most different like this genre has been.
It's huge.
And it's huge. A big game. So I could see Elden Ring squeaking out in this one. Okay, Joel.
Big one.
The big one.
The big one.
Game of the year.
Brian, you go first. Who's taking it without thinking? First thing that comes to mind. Who's taking it? Without missing a beat.
I mean, I'm voting for God of War. That's me. Like honestly, this category should really be who did it better, Elden Ring or God of War Ragnarok. Like no offense to Plague Tale, Horizon, Stray, or Xenoblade, like Elden Ring and God of War is the game that everybody's been talking about this entire year. Like Horizon for a little bit, but like literally the beginning of the year was Elden Ring, and everybody else is like, okay, we need God of War. We're like, when's God of War coming? Like we want God of War. And so it's just it's so tough. It's so tough. Like I want God of War to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Elden Ring wins. But I want God of War to win. That's just me. Oh man, this is gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a lot to see what happens. However, Joel, I think we will all win because in the Game Awards fashion, we will get that Game of the Year medley they do before they announce it, where they just mash up all the games together in a nice orchestrated like medley of the Game of the Year nominees, and that's gonna be fucking sick with all these different kind of games and all of their soundtracks involved. Holy shit.
Task in itself.
It is a task in itself. Boy.
I'm gonna say Elden Ring.
Okay, Elden Ring. All right.
It's been around longer and everyone's been fucking beating off about it. Like, of course it deserves it. Like, it deserves it. But I want God of War to win, but I think I know Elden Ring is just gonna
honestly
take that sword right in the stone.
Honestly, this has just been a very good year of gaming. A very good wild year of gaming.
That's 2 months. Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay.
Season pounded up.
All right. I know I said this was going to be short, but we're already running off like 2 hours right now. So we
Caught up in our
caught up.
thoughts.
But yeah, those were the Game Awards nominees. Of course, like I said, if you're listening to this as it comes out on VOD and of course audio, we are going to be live reacting to the Game Awards Thursday night. So come hang out with us at twitch.tv/UnitedWeNerd to see who's going to win and what gets revealed at the Game Awards. Geoff Keighley, what do you have in store?
Metabots of all
Metabots. Kojima, are you there?
Mass Effect 5, baby, come on.
Mass Effect 5.
Oh, that's probably another year out.
All right. Well, that's where we'll be on Thursday. But Joel, any other day, where can they get a hold of us?
Us? Oh, well. So I'll let you know. If you have questions, comments, suggestions, feedback, reasons why you should watch Tales of the Jedi or Love and Thunder, why M'Baku is a hot daddy, or why you should possibly maybe even entertain fighting all the Valkyries in God of War 4 and beyond, whatever they have in the next installment. I don't know yet. Hit us with an email, unitedwenerdcast@gmail.com. One more time, unitedwenerdcast@gmail.com. If you don't already, follow us on Twitter, United_we_nerd. We're on YouTube, United We Nerd on YouTube. Twitch, as you know, right here, United We Nerd. No spaces in between. The Zuckerverse, Metaverse, our number one enemy next to a certain hosting site. United We Nerd, no spacing. And of course, TikTok too, United We Nerd. Oh, and last but not least, the extension of the Zuckerverse, Instagram, United_we Nerd. That's where you can find all our nerdy takes. And be sure also, if this is your first time tuning in, please check out our other episodes. I know we kind of like push that stuff, but honestly, if you're, not sold on us, check out our roundtables. I think they're still one of our best pieces of discussion. We bring together other nerds and talk about what we love. And we are due for 2 big ones too, which I keep talking about. Due for a Pokemon one. Scarlet and Violet just dropped 2, and HVZ. We still need to do that one too.
Oh hell yeah, we're gonna be a lot of good stuff coming up for sure.
Yeah, and of course we had our Destiny roundtable as well. That people really like that, and talked about Destiny today already. And of course one day we'll do our Gundam one. That will be fucking amazing one. I think we need to knock out Witch from Mercury, then we can do that. But please check out our other episodes. I think they're all great, but check them out.
And of course, we also do reviews. We just dropped the season finale of Andor this past week. So go check that out, as well as Wakanda Forever. And of course, we've done many more reviews in the past. So go check those out as well on podcast services and YouTube as well. That's the podcast side. Joel, if you wanted people to find what you do on your off time or on your alone time, where would they do that?
Find me on Mad Mech Monster Mine on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, etc. I just released a new EP, When the Void Stares Back. Got some positive feedback on it. Check out the song Just Clocked Out. I think it's great. I don't know, I'm biased, so
it's some good stuff.
Acoustic Avenger on Twitch. I haven't been doing a lot of Twitch, but holiday season is approaching. I'm gonna be off work soon. That's when I do more charity streams, so probably be looking out for that. I want to do that again. I did one for N7 Day. I'll probably do another one soon, just for different charities because it's the holidays. Let's see what else. I think that is it. Brian, where can we find you?
Well, of course, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Brian_Saber. As well as on TikTok. I haven't been posting on TikTok recently just because stuff's been busy, but I do plan on posting there more frequently with just random thought discussion ideas.
About YouTube Shorts, man. Are you on YouTube Shorts?
I need to get on YouTube Shorts. that stuff is apparently a gold mine right now. But besides that, I am also here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Brian Saber. Like I said before, I will be starting a hard mode true ending run of Sonic Frontiers for sure. And I might do a little bit of, YouTube kind of cross mingling with that. I might do the playthrough and then maybe have like a nice like wrap up video for that. We will see. Yeah. Definitely the playthrough on Twitch for sure. But besides that, if Hover's working, I think they went down. I don't know if it's back up. I'm also
totally forgot about Hover.
I'm on there. As well as Hive, which recently just came out. I know they were.
I tried to get on Hive and I never got the authentication email. I even checked my spam folder.
Oh, gotta fix that.
Fuck Hive.
I mean,
it's probably user error.
There are only recently 3 people. They got a wave of people because stuff's happening on Twitter. But yeah, I'm on there as well. You could check that out. But yeah, besides that, thank you everybody that's hanging out with us in Twitch chat for hanging out with us. Of course, if you're listening to this on VOD or on audio version, thank you for listening. Please, like, subscribe, leave a comment if you will. That'd be great. And also, if you're listening to us early enough, come hang out with us for some Game Awards action, baby.
Ow.
But of course, until the next time, keep on nerding.
Elden Ring is going to win, like all of them, probably. They're going to put Elden Ring in every category, actually. It's a fighting game. You fight monsters. You're racing for your life. It's a racing game. Community support, of course. Right? Innovative, somehow. I don't know. Is it an indie game? Fuck no. But, they'll just squeeze it in there, too. I'm sure. Whatever.
Call of Duty has the shoot bang.